Summer. Kia ora.
Very good.
Todd McClay, 5 minutes.
Speaker, thank you very much. And to anybody that's listening to this on the radio at the moment, they probably think the Leader of the Opposition, David Shearer, is on his feet speaking again, because this is the year that he's limped from one arm and one hour to another all the way through the whole year. Do you remember the beginning of the year when they were about to have their caucus meeting not far from Taupo, and he stood beside a dairy farm and he ummed and ahed and said no longer would these farms be able to be sold to foreigners? And then when he was asked about the detail, he ummed and he ahed some more, and of course we don't see a bill in his name before this House that's going to deal with this issue. Just a very short time ago, when he was asked whether or not he had the full support of his caucus, I thought he was counting them on the ums and the ahs, because there were so many when he was put in front of the television cameras. But what we do know is now absolutely he does have them all, another and another ah there. Mr. Speaker, he came forward with the big strategy to turn around the wayward direction of the Labor Party at their conferences here. And what happened when he was asked about how the House would come about? All we got for those poor New Zealanders who want a house was more ums and more ahs. Can I say, Mr. Speaker, this has been a good year for the government, because the government is focused on what's important for New Zealanders and what the really important things are that we must do for this country. This is a year where a hard-working government has done more and achieved more than any year that many in this House can remember. And you know what this year is, Mr. Speaker? This is the year of the Hobbit. The Green Party have been here almost every year saying to us in this House that they're in favour of labelling. Well, that's a film that's going around the world, released in cinemas this week, that has a label on it that says Made in New Zealand. And this is the year of the Hobbit. Thank goodness that Jerry Brownlee and John Key secured that film and future films for New Zealand. Thank goodness they secured 3,000 jobs for New Zealand and work for 3,000 businesses. And members opposite of the Labor Party laugh and scoff because they wanted this to be the year of the Hobbit haters. They didn't want a film to have Made in New Zealand on it. They didn't want that film to be made here. They wanted to back their union mates and Australian unions, so 3,000 New Zealanders wouldn't have jobs and 3,000 businesses wouldn't have work to do on this important industry. And I say again, thank goodness for John Key and Jerry Brownlee and the work they did for everyday New Zealanders who are proud that film has been made here. Mr. Speaker, what's this government done this year, an extremely hard-working year? Well, we heard from the Prime Minister earlier, the deficit's been halved over what it was last year, and we're on track back to surplus, something that wouldn't have happened under a Green Labor coalition government if they were on this side of the House this year. We've got the lowest interest rates in New Zealand for 50 years. And again, members opposite scoff and laugh, but mums and dads out there who are paying mortgages on houses that actually are real houses, not the 100,000 they're pretending they'll magic up from thin air, are glad about this because of the economic management of Bill English as the Minister of Finance. 60,000 new jobs since we've been here in this Parliament, and Mr. Speaker, some of those jobs that have come with Australian companies to New Zealand, the opposition, the Labor Party, stood up in New Zealand and said they're the wrong type of jobs, they don't pay enough. Well, here's the thing, Mr. Speaker, if you look around the world, a job is a job and it's a good job, and this government backs New Zealanders and backs those jobs, and we're glad that Australian companies have brought jobs here because they have confidence in the direction the government's going in. Roads around New Zealand infrastructure, I was horrified to hear a member of the opposition who is in the Waikato area, I think in the Speaker's electorate, saying that she was against a very important road in the Bay of Plenty, the Tipuki bypass that goes from my electorate through Tony Ryle's electorate to the Port of Tauranga in Simon Bridges' electorate. And that's what they say, it's a Tipuki bypass. And that's what they're saying, Mr. Speaker. They don't back important roads anywhere in New Zealand. They don't back important roads in the Bay of Plenty that will add productivity and jobs to our local economy. In crime, 5.9% drop in crime rates in New Zealand. Fantastic job on behalf of our ministers and our police. Mr. Speaker, in the moment of this minute I've got left, I want to thank the staff of the FEC committee that I get to chair. I want to thank the staff of Parliament. I want to thank the members of the committee. Mr Speaker, I want to thank you and to Lockwood Smith, wish them the very best for a successful holiday period in 2013. I will end here, Mr Speaker. A little bit of advice...
Sorry to interrupt the member. His time has expired.
Mr Speaker.